Right, and could that particular lack of movement be due to the lameness on this side?
Connected to the other
Right.
injury, it could absolutely be due to that. Or the lameness on the other side may have been caused by this. And you touch on a really important point in chiropractic and lameness, which is compensation, which is basically horses are masterful compensators. They're going to find a way to continue to go forward no matter what. They'll find a way to take the weight in another area or move something else slightly differently because they got to keep moving. That's their most powerful drive.
Right. And so it could put a strain on that side, or as you said, that could have actually
Reverse.
been a prior
Sure.
problem causing the lameness.
Right. And it's hard to say which came first, the chicken or the egg, but we do kind of go through and try to correct all of it so that it becomes largely irrelevant which came first. So to adjust this joint, we push it down to take it to tension and then adjust it quickly like that. And you could hear that audible there too. Most horses, again, the motion is very quick, but never violent, So most horses sort of take it in the spirit to which it's intended, although the speed sometimes startles them the first couple of times. They get a little endorphin release almost immediately afterwards, so they don't mind much, These joints of the lumbar spine should move in 3 directions: left to right, right to left, and up and down. So on this side, I'm checking them for left to right motion, and then I'll get down, go to the other side, and check them for right to left motion. This particular lumbar isn't gliding to the right really nicely, so we'll take that to tension and adjust that. And go back and recheck it for proper motion. We can also use in this area an osteopathic adjustment where we move a whole section of the spine at once. And you can see the difference there, which is that the whole segment moves at once rather than one vertebrae at a time. So moving on to the head and neck joints, the first thing I look at is the TMJ, or the temporomandibular joint. And just feel through that for swelling and motion. This horse seems okay, but he does quite like that little massage there. His eyes getting really droopy. Huh? And we'll check his atlas, which is his first neck vertebrae up here behind his head. It feels as though it's not moving quite as nicely in an up and down direction. So we can adjust that by doing that. And again, it's quick, but it's not violent, so he's sort of okay with it. Although he did startle a little just from, I think, the speed up around his head. And next we'll go through and motion palpate his Atlanto-Occipital joint, which is where his head meets his neck. Come on, baby. Good boy. And that should move side to side like that. Good boy. Let me take him from you, Terry, and work on his neck. And as the head comes towards me, I'm feeling each of the joints in the neck, which should be moving away from me as his neck comes towards me. This particular vertebra, which is C4, does not feel as though it's scooting away quite as nicely, so that one will adjust. Good boy. That licking and chewing is one of the signs that they give that they've had what we call a release. The way that it works is chiropractic restores joint motion by stimulating the horse's central nervous system. The central nervous system repairs the lack of motion in that area. That's all done by neural signaling, neural chemicals flying around in the body between the joint and the brain and the joint and the brain. And that licking and chewing, and sometimes they'll yawn, is a sign of all that communication taking place. So that's something, and a sigh.
A good sign.
A good sigh. That's something that we look for to know that we're getting somewhere with them.